Hey everybody, off the top rope here, off the Mike Sports Network. I didn't think that I would go back to this whole WrestleMania thing. I thought we had left that kind of in the rearview mirror. Although we'll have the SmackDown after WrestleMania on Friday, but Rock thing just keeps coming back and just keeps coming up from the periphery, and you can't quit it, and it's become such a big issue with this company that I have to continue to talk about it on this segment because it's just a wild and just bizarre sequence of events. So, um, The Rock, leave it to him, like to know, just completely just make it about himself again. In a whole situation that came about as on Tuesday, Dave LaGreca, a guy who I've gotten to know and I've gotten to work with over the course of my career, um, with Busted Open, a guy who's been through it. He loves the business. He's built a brand over there at Busted Open. It's one of the top sports shows, um, it's not only at Sirius XM in the entire world. A lot of people love listening to Dave LaGreca and his crew that has continued to grow over there at Busted Open. And I know a lot of people who work on that show. So let me just get this out of the way. Like, guys think that Dave is like, just a mark and just, an idiot and like, people make fun of him. Let me tell you, Dave is 100% real. And, he loves professional wrestling and he calls out bullshit when he sees it. So, um, but this all started, I think, kind of last year with the whole situation that arose when Dave, in his bathrobe, ranted about The Rock infiltrating the main event and hurting Cody because he's a big Cody fan. And it spawned this whole thing. He was in some videos on Rock social media. It got some publicity for Busted Open. It was a really just, it was a really just a strange situation. So then Dave has this rant on Tuesday on his show on Tuesday, where he basically rips apart The Rock's Actually, yeah, he rips apart The Rock's interview. It might have been Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. This interview, he rips apart the interview that was on Tuesday, but Wednesday he goes on it just goes crazy, and so The Rock overnight responded to this on social media on his Instagram, and he commented on it. He basically said, "Hi Dave, this business is a complete work. Always has been, always will be. Every aspect of it, every match, every interview. Please join me, Cody, Cena, Brian, and the rest of us for our creative discussion so you can expand your perspective. Until then, stop ranting. It's not healthy, my friend. Enjoy the show. P.S. Tell Bubba I have Grand Marnier and Hush Puppies for all of us." So then Bully Ray, who's also a host, Bubba Ray Dudley, also hosts over there. So end quote. Um, Rock keeps making it look worse, man. He's making this easy for me. He's making this easy for me because like it's making it easy for all of us to just shit on this. What the fuck does this accomplish? Now you're talking down to people saying it's complete work. Guys, we've known for years about kayfabe. And kayfabe has been getting kind of destroyed by, there was the actress at Revolution, and obviously, WWE's letting, cameras inside the writers' rooms to show you backstage behind the scenes. Listen, we've all known this, that it's a work, okay? But for him to basically go on his Instagram and say that that interview was a work, are you out of your mind with some of the shit that he was saying? Hey, so you mean to tell me that you go on Pat McAfee's show, you've even clarified in multiple interviews, yeah, hey, this is DJ, not the final boss talking. That's a work? That's a work? What? What are you talking about, man? Also, another thing, does not mention Paul or Triple H by name. What does that tell you? There's a problem here. There's a problem here. I don't know what the interview on Tuesday did with McAfee. I don't know what this does when you're engaging with, a radio host, a guy who I have a ton of respect for, and Dave LaGreca. What does this gain? What does this gain? And then you say it's a complete work, and then yeah, you go in the creative process. You don't even mention the guy who's the head of the creative team that that you're on the board of directors for. Like it, John Cena's got this story. Let me give you guys this for a second. John Cena's got this storyline going on where he's going to ruin wrestling. I'm here to tell you right now, in real life, Rock is ruining wrestling. He is. More so than John is in storyline. Look at the facts. Look at the facts. Guy showed up in a storyline that he didn't need to be in, They never showed up again to pay it off. It resulted in one of the worst built. Like, we thought it was okay with some stuff there, but it didn't. But there was always the element that The Rock would be here. Once we got the payoff at WrestleMania, it led to nothing. And so he ruined that aspect of it. He almost ruined WrestleMania 40 by wanting to wrestle his cousin for no other reason and just trying to screw up plans and just, hijack everything because he's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And now, because people are mad at him for what happened at WrestleMania, and then they're mad at what he said on the Pat McAfee show, he is using one of the most recognizable radio shows talking about the preeminent show talking about professional wrestling because he knows a bunch of people there. He knows Bubba. He knows Dreamer. He knows everybody who's on that show. And they've added a great array of talent there in the last couple of weeks. And I work at SiriusXM, and, Busted Open is a big brand to be a part of. So listen, Brock is just ruining this for all of us. He's ruining this for all of us, whether it's by design or not. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Everything that comes out of this guy's mouth is just bullshit. And then you have the audacity to say that every interview, everything that's going on, you're trying to put kayfabe up again but at the same time, you're basically like saying, oh yeah, it's all work. Dude, we've known that for years. It's a television show. We know that. But you're bringing a lot of the real world politics into it. And then just because people don't like what you said, you're walking it back and saying, oh yeah, that wasn't real. Don't believe what you hear. When you said that the whole time, hey, when somebody on your Instagram was saying, hey, are you really not going to be at WrestleMania? You said, yeah, don't believe that shit. And then you didn't show up. Rock is ruining professional wrestling. He is. He is honest to God ruining professional wrestling more so than John Cena is in storyline. It really is amazing what we are watching right now. And then to read that quote back and read that Instagram comment back and know that not even the chief content officer of WWE is not even mentioned by name in that talking about creative discussions. That is not only just insane from a board of director of WWE, but it also it's insanely disrespectful. There is a power struggle, and I've talked about this at length on this channel. And again, I don't know how much longer this is going to wane on before Triple H just, kind of gives up and just is like, fuck this. But I don't see it ending well for Triple H, and that sucks because he's advocated his entire life to be in the position that he is in. And yes, there are some drawbacks to some of the stuff that he has booked in his career, but he's still way better than whatever this shit is with, Gewirtz and, Rock and, everybody else. And we'll probably hear more speculation. I've read a story, granted it was Dave Meltzer, and, he deserves some credit because I think he kind of nailed it, but apparently Cena wanted to do the heel turn at Elimination Chamber. And if that's the case, I got some questions for you, John, about what's going on. But yeah, this is all about The Rock. I don't know what's going on. Like why does he keep needing to just inject himself into everything when it is not needed? If he were able to just take a step back and understand, hey, let's just when you're needed and when it makes sense, we can make it work. But now he's just in full-blown damage control because everything was not well received, and he wants to deflect the blame off of him. And then he gets criticism from one of the more recognized shows in the country. And he's out telling him, yeah, it's all a work. Everything's a work. Just calm down. Yeah, calm down. We'll have some Grand Marnier. It's no big deal. Rock, you ruined WrestleMania. Just admit it. Just admit it. Admit it. You screwed up. And then maybe we'll start to have a little bit more respect for you. But you won't. You won't do that. You'll blame it on somebody else. You'll, go back to Hawaii, do your Moana reshoots, do your Scorsese movie that you're in. And, by extension, I don't even know if I want to see Rock Roman anymore. The biggest wrestling match of all time that could potentially happen. And we may never get it. Because Rock wants to do it on his time, not when it makes sense in storyline. He just wants to do it whenever it works for him. It's not how this thing works, man. If you really care about the business, then show us, because clearly you don't. It's all about money for you. And then when fans call you out on it, you have the audacity to tell them, yeah, it's all work. I didn't mean that. It wasn't real. Get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. We'll have a lot more content coming here on the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.